The early fall heat wave has broken. Cooler temperatures have prevailed. Tonight we're at the Ontario Soccer Centre for Toronto FC II and Louisville City FC. Angelo Cavalluzzo looking to continue his strong season. He'll be joined in the team by Anthony Osorio and Sean Hundle, who scored last time out. He'll be playing up front. Hello everyone, welcome inside. Matt Antonio alongside Terry Dunfield. Toronto FC II tonight taking on the top team in the Eastern Conference. Louisville City comes in on a 5-match unbeaten streak. Last time out for Toronto, a 3-1 loss at Harrisburg City. Sean Hundle scored that day, and despite a slow start to his season, he's come on a little bit here in the second half.
Yeah, he's definitely coming into a little bit of form, Matt. He's got 2 goals in TFC II's last 4 games. He's a real confidence player, and his confidence right now is sky high. Overall in the season, he just has 3 goals in 19 games. But I love watching him play. He's extremely explosive. He'll be partnering up top tonight with Malik Johnson.
On the other side, a familiar face, Mark Anthony Kay, who spent time with TFC II in their inaugural season. This is now his 2nd year in Louisville.
Yes, he comes back to Toronto as a full Canadian international now. Octavio Zambrano loves him. He has 4 caps for Canada. He was part of the Gold Cup. A real versatile player. He can play out on the left. For Louisville, he plays more inside. Today, he starts in on the bench.
Let's take a look at the starting 11 for both sides. 6 Canadians in the side for Toronto. Cavalluzzo in goal. Hundle and Johnson up front, as Terry mentioned. For the visitors, as they look to continue their hot streak up the Eastern Conference, it's Canadian Greg Ranjitsingh in goal. Cameron Lancaster is the scoring threat up front. Toronto FC II has shown they can play well with the top teams in the Eastern Conference in the last month or so, and they will look to rebound and snap that losing streak and halt Louisville's progress as they look to clinch home field advantage through the playoffs. Kickoff is next in Toronto. Tonight's match ball delivery. The last little bits of sunlight setting at Ontario Soccer Centre. We are under the lights tonight for Toronto FC II and Louisville City FC. Here is Toronto manager Jason Bent, his side 3-5-5 as the host side this season. James O'Connor leads Louisville. They are 7-3-4 away from home. James O'Connor, a former opponent of our own Terry Dunfield.
Yes, I remember playing against him over in England. He was playing for Stoke at the time. I was playing for Barry. Played him in the Cup a few times. Real combative midfielder, and has all the qualities to become a very, very good manager. One of the best young managers in the USL. Also, Jason Bent as well. Very, very good manager as well.
Angelo Cavalluzzo, as we see him on your screen. He has been a very positive force for this club. We've talked about it several times on the broadcast. A guy who really, they didn't expect to have much of a role this season and has almost come out of nowhere for this club. And he's in the top 10 in saves in the USL.
Yes, good point, Matt. I think he came in as number 2 for the USL team. Mark Pace was penned to really play a lot of minutes this year. But Cavalluzzo's come in and he's really taken that number 1 spot. He's a really good shot stopper. He's not the tallest keeper, but he organizes his front 3 in front of him extremely well. He's got great distribution. And away at Louisville, he was excellent. Made 11 stops in a 0-0 draw.
On the other side, it's another Canadian, a Pickering native, Greg Ranjit Singh. 18 games played this season, only 18 goals against, 7 clean sheets. That man is a big reason why this is one of the stingiest defensive clubs in the league, Terry.
Yes, at times he'll go long periods without being tested, but he's got very good concentration. He's a big body in the goal. Again, he's got good distribution. He's able to go back to front quickly if need be.
You mentioned Cavalluzzo, not the tallest guy. Ranjit Singh, he's pretty tall, 6'3", 195. He takes up some space in that goal. We are underway here in Toronto. We're going to apologize right off the hop. The graphics with our score bug and our time bug not working this evening, so I'll do my best to keep everyone up to date on how long into the match we are, what the time of the match is. And we'll work through it as we're underway here in Toronto. We saw Mitch Tainer heading the ball forward. He is back in the lineup for Toronto. He's missed the last 4 games. His last appearance was August 26th at Charleston. And that's perhaps coincidentally the last time Toronto were victorious.
Yeah, he's a very good defender in his own right, athletic. He's got a nice change of pace. He's good at defending 1v1. But what he brings to a very young TFC II team is a real powerful voice. He's good at organizing players in and around him, and that's very important for the team. And he's the captain, and that's a big part of the reason why he is.
And some youth in the side today as well. 18-year-old Matthew Serbel, who wears number 47, making just his 3rd appearance for the Young Reds this season. And Anthony Osorio, younger brother of TFC midfielder Jonathan Osorio, just his, I believe, 9th appearance with TFC II this season. And one of them was perhaps the shortest appearance you'll ever see in a game. Back in May, was brought on as a substitute and received a red card less than a minute later.
When you come off the bench, you want to make an impression, but that's not the impression that you want to make. He's struggled with the injuries a little bit this year, a little bit of form, and obviously that red card didn't help him. And Telfer playing ahead of him, he's been excellent, but with Telfer's form dipping a little bit, this is a big opportunity for Osorio with this season winding down to show that he can be here and a part of the squad next season. Matthew Serbel, very industrious midfielder, has great technique, comfortable on the ball. Look at him to pull the strings for TFC II from the middle of the park.
Long ball played forward, doesn't quite make it out. Mitch Tainer will get there. That was Sean Reynolds who lofted up for the visitors. And now here's a giveaway, an opportunity, but Cavalluzzo able to jump on it as Brian Ownsby was in the area.
Lancaster does really well there. He doesn't give up on a lost cause, and Mitch Tainer just dwells on the ball a little bit. Lancaster takes it off him. He's not able to connect with Ownsby. Good alert goalkeeping from Cavalluzzo. You see, the turf is extremely sticky, and if it gets caught in between your feet, it can be difficult. It's really important that first touch is out of your feet and you already have that picture in your head. You know where it's going to go next.
Here's Aiden Daniels pushing forward for Toronto, trying to find Malik Johnson. He's able to connect. Johnson a little bit heavy and will race to it to push it out for a throw as opposed to a goal kick. Smart play there from Malik Johnson.
Yeah, nice one. We're used to see him coming and looking at the ball to pick it up in the pockets. He's been playing in midfield a lot this year. I love to see him running in behind. Defenders hate that. Next time it might create a little bit of space for him to get it to feet. Great driving run from midfield from Aiden Daniels.
Pushed up the left side by Louisville, and that's Julian Dunn playing right back tonight for Toronto.
He's been real impressive since stepping up from the academy. I think he's adjusted extremely well. looked very comfortable at this level. The biggest compliment is he's been extremely consistent. He's had maybe 1 or 2 errors in his run of games. I think it's 9 or 10 games now, but he hasn't been daunted at all by the jump in level to the USL.
He's defending there. Or correction, that was McCreary who's defending. This comes down for Johnson. Poked away there by Sean Toch. This is the 12th appearance, 11th start this season for Dunn.
You can see already Louisville love to pass that ball. They've got triangles all over the pitch. Players want the ball, making angles for one another, very comfortable on the ball. Real similar to the type of player James O'Connor was.
Cavalluzzo grabs that. I mentioned in the open, Toronto has played the top teams in the East well this season. They were able to grab a home victory against Charlotte, a home draw against Charleston, a road win against Charleston, their last victory, and they drew 0-0 with Louisville back in April.
And a couple of the results maybe haven't gone their way, but in recent months the performance has been a lot better. They've outpossessed teams and at times have defended really, really well, not scored, and vice versa, have scored goals and have conceded too easily. Just have to find that right balance of when to attack and to defend.
We are just past 5 minutes played here in Toronto as Julian Dunn heads that away. Comes down for Devon Williams. Lofted towards Kyle Smith and headed away. Devon Williams wearing number 80. His nickname, even according to the team website, is Speedy. So we'll see if we get to witness the wheels of Devon Williams, Jamaican international.
Yeah, he's got 1 cap for Jamaica. Previously, 2015-16, played for the New York Red Bulls 2 team. Extremely quick player, definitely not my nickname. He's very good at breaking from midfield. I like the way Louisville play. They've got a nice shape to them. They play 3-4-3. Their distances, their spacing's very good. When they have the opportunity to press, they will. If not, they'll sit back in their blocks. They're very good at picking second balls up, as we've already seen tonight.
Dispossessed by Reynolds, and here on the near side is Ownby. Tainter comes together with Lancaster.
I think Lancaster does just enough. He just beats Tainter to it, gets his body across. As soon as he feels any contact from Mitch Tainter, he goes over. Clever from Lancaster. Lancaster's got 6 goals on the season. He actually made 1 appearance for Tottenham Hotspur. He was born in London, England.
Came up through their academy.
Yeah, had loan spells at Dagenham. Might have signed for Stevenage in the lower leagues. Previously was with St. Albans, grinding it out in the lower leagues. Decided to come stateside and been a very good acquisition for Louisville City FC. They've got a lot of players with good ages, between 24 and 27. TFC, a good 4 or 5 years younger on average.
It's headed forward by Liam Frazier. Volleyed back by Oscar Jimenez. Osorio plays in for Lars Eckenrode. Feels the pressure, sends that out for a throw. Here's Williams. Back for Reynolds. Over for Paco Craig. One of 3 players on this Louisville side who attended Young Harris College in Georgia.
A couple times TFC just haven't been able to find Reds and secure possession. Louisville, it's not a kamikaze press like we saw with the New York Red Bulls 2 team that press almost without thought. Did you see Liam Frazier there possibly get away with a handball? There's a lot of thought behind the press, and it's real important that first couple of passes, once TFC 2 turn the ball over, that they secure it and don't give it away in bad areas.
We saw on that potential handball waved away by our referee tonight is Yusri Rudolph. The assistants are Peter Pentley and Fabrizio Stasola. David Barry is the 4th official. There's Hundle, swarmed by purple shirts, but he's able to peel away. Dish over for Malik Johnson in some space. Distributes to Jordan McCreary. Here's Serbal. McCreary looking for his next move. Played back for Dunn. Wind in the favor of Toronto in this half, as it's really whipping straight into the face of Louisville. Lars Eckenrode back for Cavalluzzo. We are just over 9 minutes played now here in Toronto. Julian Dunn plays forward. Serbal had that ricochet off his leg, out for a Louisville throw, taken quickly.
It was a good run from midfield from Serbal. Julian Dunn just overcooks that pass, just needs to play it into his path. Difficult one for Serbal to bring under control. He started well in midfield.
Serbal plays out for McCreary, offside flag is up.
Good patient move from TFC II. He's gone back to front a few times, kept the ball moving. Liam Fraser, he's always that outlet in midfield, a little bit like Michael Bradley for the first team. He'll just sit deep, a little bit deeper, and if TFC II don't have anything on, they can always go back to him, and he'll keep the team ticking over in possession nicely. Just earlier, nice turn from Sean Hundle. McCreary on that one, he shouldn't be offside. He needs to go wider, really stretch the pitch and look right across the line.
Good play there from Osorio. Daniels trying to pick out Frazier, but Williams speeds in to take it away. There's Ownby. Smith. Williams takes a ricochet and will be out for a Louisville throw.
Good tackle from Liam Fraser. He's so good at reading the game and intercepting balls like that. In today's game, you see less and less tackles in the middle of the park. It's all about reading the game and intercepting balls. Aiden Daniels, if you go square from out wide, you have to be 100%. You can't be giving the ball away there, especially in your own half.
10 minutes, 45 seconds played. Played long and offside flag up. Terry, my weather app tells me it's 20 degrees, feels like 22. I'm not sure if it's because yesterday was a feels like 38 day, but it feels a little bit cooler than 22 degrees right now.
Yeah, it's difficult to see it on the pictures, but it's extremely windy as well, and that's the one condition for soccer players you don't like. For TFC II, that's exactly what you need to do, what you just saw there. Their back three, Mitch Tainer playing high, keep the team high up the pitch, try to keep the ball in Louisville's half.
Frazier steps in.
For Louisville, playing against the wind, you need to try to pass your way out.
And to their credit, they look to be attacking with that game plan. We have not seen a lot of long balls played through the air by them. A lot of good, smart passes, as we just saw there, as it's played into Ownby for Smith. Knocked away. Hundle, not able to get to it first, is taken instead by William Del Piccolo, the Louisville captain. Serbal, Hundle.
Ownby's move is very clever. He's starting on the left side of a front three, but he'll just drift inside off of the shoulder of Liam Frazier. It's so important that Liam Frazier, Mitch Tainer's talking to him, but his head's also on a swivel. He knows where Ownby's at all times. He's a very dangerous player. 4 goals and 3 assists on the season.
Matthew Serbal with an interception. He's got an opportunity. And not quite sure if he was tugged or slipped, but a good play by the goalkeeper, Ranjit Singh, off his line to take away the opportunity.
The young 18-year-old breaks from midfield. Got such good technique, gets across one defender, but the left-sided center half does extremely well to get back and just muscle him out.
Loose ball collected by Osorio, trying to play for Daniels. And that does come out. Flag is up. It's Toronto throw.
For Louisville, they've had a lot of consistency in the back. The back three of Tots, Reynolds, and Craig. They played a lot of games together, and you can see it there, one another covering for one another.
Malik Johnson wasn't looking at Osorio when that ball was thrown in, was able to get just enough on it to keep Toronto in possession. There's Serbal. Hundle. Hundle makes a move. Hundle takes a tumble. Referee waves it off.
I think it's a good tackle from Reynolds. Times it perfectly. Again, great awareness from Hundle. Checked his shoulder, he knew where the space was. I think we're going to get a look at it now. We've seen a couple times defenders get too tight to him. He's got that ability to roll defenders. Just a great last-ditch tackle from Reynolds.
We're approaching a quarter of an hour here inside the 15th minute. Scoreless in Toronto.
All comes from Serbal, picks up the ball in a gray area, lays it into Hundle. You can see Reynolds times it to perfection.
Looked like there might have been some contact from Williams there as well, but difficult to tell from that angle.
Yeah, it's too bad he couldn't get another touch on. If he gets away from him there, it's got penalty written all over it. Nice soft feet from Hundle, and uses his body extremely well to roll the defender.
Earlier, we saw Matthew Serbal with an opportunity.
Yeah, he presses extremely well. He waits for a trigger. He sucks a defender into a false sense of security, takes it off and goes through the legs of Reynolds. But Craig does just enough to put him off, and goalkeeper Rajit Singh's quick off his line. Great starting position by him.
Osorio for Serbal. That's McCreary. McCreary looking to cross in, trying to find Hundle. It's deflected out by a Louisville player, and the first corner of the night will come to Toronto.
I love that from McCreary. Real direct, picks it up, really attacks his fullback. Fullbacks hate it when someone's running at full pace there. Just gets half a yard, tries to get the ball into the box, wins a corner kick for his team, keeps the momentum going. With this wind screaming, you can see it on the corner flag there. If I'm Aiden Daniels, I stick this right on top of the goalkeeper with a little bit of fade. Just like that.
That's headed by Tainter, and it's headed wide, but he applauds the delivery from Daniels.
It just comes to Tainter a little bit quick there. I'm not sure whether he's going for goal or trying to put it back across. For me, you've got to put it back across the goal. Gives Eckenrones and Dunn an opportunity to really go attack it.
Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC Channel 85. Also, don't forget Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Check USLsoccer.com for dates and times.
Sean Hundle there, great first touch. You can see the goalkeeper, Rajit Singh, struggling with the wind a little bit. He's only able to kick it maybe 35 yards. It was a wonderful first touch from Sean Hundle. Just couldn't quite get it out of his feet. For me, just knock it past the defender, go the other way. Just took a little bit too much time on it. In fairness to him, he didn't have a whole bunch of support. Young Anthony Osorio, he started the game well. Tactically, he's very good. His distances from his teammates are excellent. Reads the game well.
Given to Louisville here as Cameron Lancaster in some discomfort. He's been nursing a toe injury, and he was shaking off that right foot. I'm not sure which foot or which toe is injured, but perhaps an aggravation.
Yeah, I think Liam Fraser just catches him a little bit late, just stomps on his right toe. I'm not sure which toe was injured. I'm not going to guess 1 in 10 chances, but it's funny how that always happens when you're just struggling with a little bit of a knock.
He played at Ottawa on Sunday in that 1-1 draw. Louisville 3-0-2 in their last 5. Headed away by Dunn. There's a little bit of a scramble in the area, and it's sent out for a corner as Ormsby sent that into a crowd of legs.
Yeah, it's difficult for TFC II. I think you need to be a little bit braver there and get out. It allows Louisville City FC to get the ball into the box, and in the end, it's a very good block from Mitch Tainer, right in the heart of the defense.
It's headed wide by Lancaster. This is the first corner opportunity for Louisville.
Yeah, it was a good ball in from Jimenez. Gets put back into the box in the second phase. McCabe puts it in, and I think Lancaster has a shot, and an important block from the captain, Mitch Tainer.
Lars Eckenrode now down in discomfort. We'll get a second look at what happened to the TFC defender.
Yeah, Cavalluzzo looking to play out of the back. Eckenrode probably doesn't need to be taking that many touches. He invites trouble. I think he just possibly goes over top of his ankle a little bit. He's coming back from a bad break earlier in the season.
Looked like he was favoring his arm a little bit, actually. He might have fallen awkwardly on that right side.
The turf's so unforgiving here too, Matt.
Good sliding challenge there by Mitch Tainer. Wins it back for Toronto.
Great tackle, and I love the composure as well. Little Cruyff keeps the team in possession. His game's developing nicely. It's great to see him get a first-team game in the Canada Cup against Ottawa earlier in the year.
Just past 20 minutes played here. No score between Toronto and Louisville. Malik Johnson wins that away for Toronto. Plays for Hundle. Has Johnson and Serbil with him. Johnson will loft it over the goal.
Both teams here pressing extremely high. Here we see the Mitch Tainer tackle, times it to perfection. No foul whatsoever. Lancaster goes over top, and we didn't see it there, but nice little Cruyff afterwards. Very good game. 21 minutes gone so far. Both teams trying to play the right way, pass the ball, press when it's on.
Windy conditions, not unfamiliar at this venue. It seems like more than half the games that we've played here this season have had significant wind. I'm not sure if it's just where the field is located, if it's in a little bit of a channel.
This is sitting right there on the hill, though. You can see it.
Del Piccolo, named captain at the start of this season. Toch playing in, looking for Smith. And Osorio plays it out. Del Piccolo is a product of the University of Louisville, and his 23 assists remain a school record. So clearly a player with some playmaking ability.
Yeah, he's got nice vision from midfield. He spent time with the Montreal Impact and New England Revolution. Never made a first-team appearance. Definitely possesses some nice quality on the ball.
Serbil for Johnson, rather. Daniels, Osorio, Daniels, Frazier. Osorio. Cavalluzzo. Hundle sprints over to try and keep that for Toronto. Unsuccessful, however. It's played forward for Lancaster. Takes a deflection off Frazier. Pinballs to Malik Johnson. Osorio. Headed forward by Toch. Smith can't handle cleanly. Johnson, Daniels. And Osorio sends back for Cavalluzzo.
Great distribution from Cavalluzzo to pick Serbil out. A lot of keepers would just lump it up the pitch there. Picks out his high midfielder, keeps TFC II in possession.
Daniels trying to play long for Serbal.
I think it was the right idea. Tries to pick a diagonal out. Serbal made another good run from midfield. Hundle had brought a couple players through the middle. There's a little bit of space. Just gets caught in the wind, goes through to the Louisville defense.
Eckenrode and Niall McCabe come together in midfield there. I think both were looking for a call.
Yeah, Lars Eckenrode, big, strong figure. You don't want to bump into him.
Just over 24 minutes played now here in Toronto. And again, our apologies for the technical difficulties with the time aspect of the score bug this evening.
It's important that the three midfielders for TFC II really try to dictate the game. That's where they outnumber Louisville. They've got that extra player in the middle of the park.
Osorio trying to find Daniels. Dispossessed by Williams. Forward for Holmby. Dunn steps up, wins it away. Frazier.
Great reaction from Aiden Daniels. A little bit predictable, that Cruyff. I read about it yesterday, but great reaction to get the ball back. Puts enough pressure on the Louisville attacker. Allows Julian Dunn to step up and win the ball.
Eckenrode in the middle for Frazier. Daniels up the flank for McCreary. Trying to play in, and it's well over the intended target. And out for a goal kick.
You have to execute. McCreary gets into a great spot. Aiden Daniels' weight on the pass is perfect. Just inviting him to hit it first time. He doesn't have to be too clever with that pass. Just whip it across the near post. Sean Hundle had made a great run. And you also had Malik Johnson peeling around the back post.
Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com.
Try not to bounce the ball, okay?
Osorio through for Johnson. Johnson does that so well, letting the ball run across him and change directions. Here's Niall McCabe. His cross blocked by Tainer, out for a Louisville throw.
Again, no nonsense defending from Mitch Tainer. He's been immense since coming back into the team tonight. Would have been easy to just stand off the Louisville player and let him deliver. He really closes down the cross.
Touch. Devin Williams. Cross into the area, and Dunn is there to clear it. Ownby was in the area as well.
Really good ball from Tosh. The right-sided defender of the back three gets forward, plays a really tricky ball to defend. Julian Dunn at the back post is covering his teammate. Mitch Tainer's distance is perfect. Real tricky one for him. Sees where the Louisville attacker is. He uses his body to just shield him, take a touch and clear it. Great defending from Julian Dunn, Canadian Youth International.
Here's Ownby now. Dunn chasing him down. Cross looking for Smith. Osorio pokes it away. And Daniels will send it back to midfield.
No, it's a tough one for Aiden Daniels. It's coming at him at a tricky angle. I think you need to be brave there. Try to take a touch, use your body to hold off Williams and try to keep possession, not just hack it up the pitch.
Frazier. Dunn. We're in the 29th minute here in Toronto. Dunn trying to pick out Hundle. Intercepted by Craig. Played forward by Williams. Its own beat. Well defended by Dunn. Collected by Jimenez.
Good from McCrary.
There's Frazier. Johnson didn't feel the pressure in the back from Sean Toch.
The biggest difference in the last 10 minutes, we're at 29 minutes now, is at the moment it's just not sticking up top for TFC II. Malik Johnson and Sean Hundle have got to hold the ball up. I know the quality into them at times hasn't been great, but it has to stick. Give Mitch Tainer in the back three an opportunity to get up the pitch. At the moment, it's just a little bit stretched for TFC II.
There's Toch. On the right side, Smith was unable to corral it. Serbal comes into the feet of McCabe for Smith. Good challenge there by Eckenrode, and a brave move from Eckenrode as well. If you remember, he surrendered 2 penalties at BMO Field against New York on plays just like that, and he has the confidence to get right back in there.
I was just thinking the same thing. This one, he gets it spot on. Great timing of the tackle. All comes from a TFC giving the ball away needlessly. It's some real intricate play from Louisville City. Smith thinks he's in. He's made a great outside to in run. But Lars Eckenrode not only has the athleticism to track him all the way, but a real great tackle with his right foot. Clears the danger.
Yeah, as calm and composed as he looked and confident while doing it, had to imagine his heart's in his throat as he goes in for it, thinking, oh my goodness, if I miss this one too, it might be my last game. He nearly gives it away there. He just does well to win it back again.
I think he gave it away on purpose. He just loves tackling this guy. I'll tell you, 2 people with hearts in their mouths, Jason Bent and assistant coach Chris Pozniak.
I was going to say, if Eckenrode wasn't nervous about it, I'm sure Bent was looking up.
In the USL Cup playoff picture, group coming off a 1-1 draw at Ottawa on a 3-match road trip. Well, he split the defenders. Lancaster, that's another heavy challenge. Lancaster staying down only for a moment, but it's turned over to Smith. Lancaster is onside now. Smith. Louisville trying to break through in the 32nd. Williams. Speedy. Get it through. It was Lancaster's target again. Bouncing as far as Sean Reynolds. Smith. Williams. It's Del Piccolo. Long spell and a lot of passes right now for Louisville in possession.
Yeah, you can see Toronto really bunching up in the box.
Smith laid it through. He and Lancaster not quite on the same page.
Well, so far I've been pretty impressed with Lars Eckenrode. He's made 3 really big tackles in some good areas. And you talked about his appearances and not many of them. So certainly that's the type of thing that's going to impress a head coach and Jason Bent and the scouting staff with the MLS side. That Lars Eckenrode has been coming in, and he's not making too many mistakes right now defensively, and he really has thwarted a couple of very good opportunities for Louisville City.
If you're a young player playing in this Toronto FC system, the toughest place to break through has to be the defensive side when you play this 3-back look and you're asking a lot defensively of those players. Right now, they've got a handful of really good young players already on the first team. Your Justin Moros, and you go down the list of strong players that they have available to them.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, to be honest, being there and covering Toronto FC for so many years, with all the money there and the facilities that they have, a lot of those players, they really are spoiled from a younger age. And I think that the biggest thing that they have to control with players that are on this team and on this field right now is egos, to think that they're bigger than they really are, that, you know, they really haven't done anything yet. The players on the other team.
It's through. Ombi. Well, there's Tainter again. These defenders have been really good tonight.
It's such a different scenario between Louisville City compared to Toronto FC. That was a great through ball right around Eckenrode. And there you see, at the last second, it's Tainter coming in to be able to block that shot, but yet another corner for Louisville City.
So it's Oscar Jimenez for Louisville City in the 35th. Jimenez, another high arcing one. Bombed out beyond the halfway line. It's Sean Reynolds who takes over. Didn't make his first appearance of the year until June the 4th. It has started now 15 times since. Mike Watts, Lee Godfrey with you tonight from the Ontario Soccer Center, TFC II, Louisville City FC. Game of intense enormity for a 1-15, as it might be. Louisville can lock up the first overall seed due to the Rowdies and Bethlehem Steel draw earlier today, a 2-2 draw. And of course, Michael Nanshoff, that is heartbreaking, the injury that he suffered. So all the best to the Rowdies midfielder.
Yeah, you don't want to see that at all, somebody taken off on a stretcher the way that Nanshoff was. And those two teams, that's going to have a little bit of bad blood. And those two teams have to face each other again, this time at Al Lang Stadium in St. Petersburg on Saturday night. So we'll see if there's any carryover into that game, which has huge implications for both sides.
McCabe ripped that through, bounces off the chest of Lancaster. Cavalluzzo is there.
Yeah, a lot of pace on that ball, and I think Lancaster was just in between what he wanted to do with that ball. Could he get down and head it? Could he just redirect it with a leg? And in the end, he let it hit his chest, and then after that, he wasn't able to do anything with it.
Hey, fans, stay up to date on all the latest news and information from around the league of one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world. Visit USLsoccer.com or follow on Twitter at USL. All the highlights, including all 4 goals from the early game. Ottawa is playing this evening as well in the Eastern Conference. Out in the West, Real Monarchs is playing USL game of the week against Sacramento. Lancaster allowed this through, so it's Ombi! Played it across, and Eckenrode is there. And thankfully he was, because that was a brilliant dummy in an offside position by Cameron Lancaster.
Yeah, it was. Watch right here as he just steps over that one, and Ombi goes in all alone onside. I'm not sure from that angle there if Ombi should have tried to shoot that ball instead of placing it across. He looked like he had a pretty good angle and no one in front of him. In the end, he tries to slot it across, and once again, Lars Eckenrode having a very good match.
Service from Jimenez, lofted away by Malik Johnson. Former Tottenham Hotspur player, Cameron Lancaster, using his noodle there a little bit. That's an intelligent soccer play that not all would think of. Well, this is dangerous in that Johnson had followed all the way up to Ranjit Singh. Continuing on still. McCabe got it wide. Smith. Niall McCabe. He's going to race after it again. Kyle Smith will pick it up for Louisville City. Williams steps back. Speedy Williams is the epitome of a player that's taken advantage of the opportunity afforded to him in Louisville. His first cap for the Jamaican national team came in 2010, and he's back with him again. They played against Canada this Mitchell Tainter cut that out. 80 in purple tonight. Speedy's played a very good year out of RMU in Pittsburgh. It's Johnson. Hundal turned over. Johnson shooting wide.
Oh, Malik Johnson has to do much better than that. That was an unfortunate deflection for Louisville City, and the ball just sat right for Malik Johnson. Watch this as he goes in, and right there, he's able to block the pass forward, and his left foot just lets him down. And actually, very lucky because Paco Craig was the one that initially tried to put that ball forward, and Malik Johnson was able to intercept that pass. And you need to hit the face a goal on that one. That was a golden opportunity for Toronto FC too.
So Sorio finding Frazier. When you think about Malik Johnson, scored twice in June last year. And in the 28 games since, he's scored 1 goal. Sometimes you just have to hit the target and see what happens. Although it did look like Ranjetsingh had a good beat on it. Smith. It's a turn by Lancaster and sent a ball with too much pace.
You can certainly see that the quality difference, I think, Mike, out there tonight, and how Louisville City moves the ball around. They've had some signals crossed at times, shots blocked, some good clearances by Toronto FC too. But certainly, you know, we're into the 41st minute of play now, and I'm sure James O'Connor would really have loved to have tested Angelo Cavalluzzo at this point in time. He really hasn't had to do anything to come up with a big save, to have a big shot on goal so far in this first half by Louisville City.
And let's be honest, this is one of the toughest road trips in the West. We always talk about how hard it is. As you can see, only one effort, and it wasn't really much of one against Cavalluzzo so far. In the West, we always talk about Cascadia trips, so Portland, Vancouver, and Seattle. Well, in the USL's East, you're talking about Toronto, Rochester, and Ottawa, and none of those are easy games. They'll really beat you up over the course of 7 days. Maybe there's a little bit of a lag tonight, although it seems like Louisville's pulled out of that. Louisville has outpossessed Toronto significantly. Toronto team that is much better at home defensively. They've only allowed 15 goals at home to 31 on the road. Here's Ownby. Ownby's going to have a go off of the back. Mitchell Tainter.
And going back to that Ottawa game, Mike, to be honest with you, Louisville was fortunate to come away with the 1 point. Cito Sione, late in that game, had an absolute cracker and rang it off the crossbar, and I couldn't believe it didn't drop to go into the goal. So it was certainly a close one there.
You know, we talk with coaches all the time, and usually they'll say, yeah, we could have had another one here, another one there, and we could have gotten 3 points. James O'Connor said, we walked out of there with a point. We felt that was about right.
Yeah, and it probably was. I do think it was a very evenly played match by both teams. There were some chances, like I said, not much in the first, but in the second. And in that heat, boy, I honestly thought that I think that Louisville would say, yeah, we're happy to come out with a point. You always are on the road. I know things are kind of, as the season draws towards the end, they put more importance on those games at the end of the year than the beginning of the year. But I was disappointed in Ottawa and how they came out. They had way much more to play for as far as trying to get back into a playoff position. They need to win. Those were playoff games for Ottawa. They need to win out just to try to step up into the top 8, and they didn't come out the way I thought they would.
And you look, and they finished now, what, 5 or 6 consecutive draws, and it's teams deal with it every year. There's always 1 or 2. Death by 1,000 draws. You were never quite good enough to be a playoff team. You're never quite bad enough not to be, and Ottawa will find themselves in all likelihood out of that equation.
It's been a tough year, especially when you do look at the draws, and that it goes back to, you know, Paul Dalglish quitting as head coach and Julian de Guzman having to take over at, you know, midpoint of the year, and he had a not a bad go his first game. He's in at OCB, and then he comes up with a draw. Tampa Bay Rays, a lot of draws.
Cavalluzzo, whoa, they're going to throw quick because he's not back in his net. Lancaster, Cavalluzzo's returned. did wonder how fast Louisville could turn that on its head. Guzman didn't have a bad start, and you can't help but look like there are a couple teams that are going to rue points they did not get when they easily very well could have. St. Louis stands out, 24 points, 22 perhaps dropped from leading positions in the East as Del Piccolo picks up the foul for Louisville. Daniels is the player down in the 44th. For Louisville, they haven't really dropped a lot of points, and that's why you're in first. You get the lead, then you keep the lead.
And it's their road play for me, Mike, that's impressed me so much this season with the points that they've had. Four draws, 7 wins is incredible.
That's hit too far. Well, Smith knew that there was a fox in the box behind him, and he played it out.
Majority of teams will just try to take care of business at home and hope for a point here or there on the road, and that will be enough to put you in a good position at the end of the year. But that's what separates the average teams from the very good teams, the one that can get those results and replicate what they do at home on the road as well.
Daniels. That swings in. There is a heavy wind. Cleared as far as the top of the 18 and poked further by Jimenez. But the danger not over yet for Toronto. Daniels again from Osorio, driving it across, headed back. Serbol sends it up the right-hand side. We're into stoppage time. Del Piccolo. And why stoppage time? We don't need any. Very few fouls. And if you're Toronto, they're throwing their arms out in disgust. They're wondering why they didn't get to finish that attack. What did you make of the first 45, Lee?
You know, Louisville City had their chances. They controlled, I thought, possession. They were the better passing team, just not able to get something through in that final third. And Toronto FC II held their ground. They did all right in that first 45 minutes of play.
Toronto holding the #1 team in the Eastern Conference, both in goals scored and in points off the board in the first half. We'll recap the half that was. Look forward to the half that will be when we return on WBNA.
Box combo, please.
At Raising Cane's, we do one thing, and we do it better than anyone else. So why not let our food do the talking?
Love in the window.
Raising Cane's, only the best chicken finger meals. One love.
Pizza, beer, sports. A great combination. Join other sports fans at Boomba's Pizza and Tap House in Louisville, where you'll find what Food Network says is the best pizza in Kentucky. Incredible game day and social hour specials starting at just $2. With an award-winning menu and one of city's best local craft beer list. Just one bite, and we know you'll love it so much, you'll come back time and time again at Boomba's Pizza and Tap House, your social sports destination.
When my hair is too long, I don't feel right. But when I get a cut, I'm me again, only better. My tattoo gets feistier. My crazy eye snaps to attention. I become my own Wi-Fi hotspot.
I just downloaded the entire internet.
And trust falls? They don't even scare me anymore.
That pomade really broke my fall.
Get in, get out, back to greatness. Download the online check-in app. Great clips. It's gonna be great.
The heat is hot. You should have some adult beverages when you go with the heat.
We come here pretty much every Friday now. We've been here several times and we love it.
Everything is fantastic, sides and all.
Chicken and waffles, it's excellent. It's the best place you can get it.
It's so hot, you actually get a buzz from eating this. You come get takeout that tastes like something you cook at home. That's what keeps me coming back.
Well, that is downtown Toronto. That's a nice view, isn't it, Lee?
Never going to ever get sick of that. Lived there for 15 years. It's a fantastic city. If anybody gets a chance to go up to that city, the capital of Ontario, it will be well worth it.
Here are your first half highlights. These are from Vaughan, which is a little bit outside of that gorgeous cityscape. As the sun's setting in the backdrop, Louisville City possessing the vast majority of this first half.
Yeah, and I liked a lot of good through balls there to build up in transition. It's just getting to this point is where they just haven't been able to penetrate through. As you see from here, starting in their own half, and well, that was the giveaway there that almost cost them. And it's just one heavy touch from Toronto FC 2 and Greg Ranjetsingh able to come out and get that one. And give Toronto FC 2 credit, they did have a couple of opportunities here. This was a nice turn here, and then the tackle perfectly timed. And no penalty there as the referee waves that one off, as Hundal is going to be a little bit frustrated there. Have another look here on that tackle. It is Sean Reynolds timing that one perfectly.
So Louisville would hold possession really from that point. This slide by Eckenrode had to be perfect. If not, Smith is going to draw a penalty or score.
Yeah, perfectly placed through ball there by Brian Ownby. And you're right, Kyle Smith coming forward, and that's perfectly timed. Great dummy there by Lancaster to let Ownby through. Ownby tries to slot it through instead of possibly taking a shot, because you watch from this angle here, he's basically in alone. Put that onto his left foot and try to go for that backside netting. Instead, it's blocked once again by Lars Eckenrode.
This in the final moments of the opening half of play.
Yeah, Malik Johnson intercepting the pass right here from Paco Craig, and he's got all the time in the world, and he just mishits that left footer.
As first half closes at 0-0, here are the statistics. And possession, if you take the first 10 minutes out, is even more heavily weighted towards Louisville, but Toronto has done their best work on the counter.
Yeah, they have, and that's what they're going to do. And you saw the way how they just flooded the 18-yard box in their own zone defensively tonight, just to try to stop Louisville City from getting through. And it's worked so far, but as that half went on, you saw them getting too compact, and Louisville City being able to use the wings a little bit more to be able to spread out Toronto FC, and you'll see if they'll be able to get something in between the center backs and to try to get something concrete on goal and really test Cavalluzzo.
So when we come back, we'll tell you about the upcoming ESPN3 Game of the Week schedule, which includes a match later on tonight that Louisville City fans are going to have their eyes on. Scoreless here at the half at Ontario between Louisville City and TFC II.
Recently, our country has witnessed catastrophic devastation. Hurricanes and flooding have upended lives and livelihoods.
Across this great country, Americans have answered the call.
That special calling that compels us, when others are down, to step up and do whatever it takes.
America's at her best when, against all odds, we come together and lift each other up.
Please donate to oneamericaappeal.org. America needs you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
The race for the USL Golden Boot is one to watch entering the final weeks of the USL regular season. The USL's all-time leading scorer Dane Kelly leads the league's top offense in Reno 1868 FC. Kelly's 18 goals on the year are chasing Matt Fondy's USL single-season scoring record of 22, set back in 2015, as Kelly pursues the first Golden Boot of his career. Enzo Martinez is second in the race with 16, but hasn't tallied a goal since week 24. Martinez and the Charlotte Independents enter week 28 having clinched a spot in the playoffs, but looking to hold on to the number 2 seed. The Charleston Battery's Romario Williams has only played in 20 games this season, yet has scored 15 goals. June's Player of the Month is looking to get back into scoring form. The Jamaican international has been held scoreless since August 12th. Real Monarchs SLC's Chandler Hoffman has already matched his single-season high of 14 goals and has done it with the fewest shots of any player in Golden Boot contention. Hoffman's 46 shots are about half that of Dane Kelly, who leads the league with 93 shots. The Pittsburgh Riverhounds' Corey Hertzog has played the most minutes of the players in the running and is coming off his third 2-goal performance on the year. Hertzog's brace against Bethlehem Steel FC brought his season total to 13, the same number he had in the 2016 regular season. With 3 weeks to go, the contenders will look to end on a high note as the race nears the finish line. For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Find fun activities to do, like boating and biking, or camping and hiking, plus much more. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He knows he's a pretty big deal. How could you not love him?
We'd do anything for kids. Thanks for helping us. Yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
Halftime outside Toronto as Louisville City unable to pull in front. If they win today, they are the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference, in part because of how good they've been at home, where they've drawn over 8,600 fans per game, but it's just the beginning of something special that's brewing in the Butchertown neighborhood. It was just last week that Mayor Greg Fisher went and officially made this a reality. It's us to get through the Metro Council, and so you can go to LouisvilleCityFC.com to write to the Metro Council, but a 10,000-seat soccer-specific stadium, you had already seen the pictures of it, and it's set to open in 2020 if all continues on pace. But Lee, when you think about the opportunity that James O'Connor, this Louisville City team, is given to the city, and Greg Fisher to try and create a great soccer venue, a great soccer city, this is a remarkable future that very well could exist in Butchertown.
Yeah, it certainly is, and I think the fans deserve this. I think the fans have shown in Louisville that they are supporting this side in fantastic numbers, and they really do deserve this. I think it's a no-brainer for council to be able to support the rest of the decision-making process and being able to have this come to fruition, because certainly the club deserves its own home, a soccer-specific stadium, and it just looks absolutely fantastic.
Well, certainly all the Kentucky-based USL fans are hoping this is the stadium that's built in Louisville. It's a gorgeous view. So too is this. We'll be back in Vaughan in a moment for the second half, but here's what's coming up on ESPN 3. Wednesday, October 4th. Tulsa's the real shock of the entire Western Conference. And Phoenix, of course, Didier Drogba always draws some eyeballs.
Yeah, they do, and they were just underneath that playoff marker for so long, and they're finally up and above that now. And, of course, that was their main goal, to bring in Drogba and a few other players and get the ball rolling. So that will be a fantastic game next Wednesday.
And also the Monarchs are playing tonight on ESPN3 at 10:30 Eastern. Louisville City can pull into first in the USL with a win here tonight, but Monarchs can steal it back against Sacramento. Halftime in Vaughan. We'll take you back to the stadium when we return. Toronto, Louisville, scoreless at the half.
During Ram Power Days at Kentuckiana's #1 Dodge Ram dealer, Commonwealth Dodge Ram. Choose from hundreds of top Ram trucks, like a 2017 Ram 1500 for $21,970 or buy for $289 a month. Busy? We'll bring the test drive to you. Go to CommonwealthDodge.com.
Hi, my name is Susan Rademacher. I'm one of our HR managers here at the Louisville Specialty Center. Parallon is one of the healthcare industry's leading providers in revenue recovery. We need a lot of people to help us do that, and that's why we need you.
What I really like about working with this company is that we've been voted for Kentucky's best places to work 10 years in a row, and it's because of the culture that we have at our location.
We value your opinion, and we push to promote from within. We work hard and we have fun.
Bring your business vision to life with an entrepreneurship MBA from the University of Louisville. Learn from faculty who are experienced business innovators and develop your ideas with the backing of successful and supportive alumni. An affordable investment in your career that helps you to become the entrepreneur you always knew you could be. The Entrepreneurship MBA at the University of Louisville. Take your first step today. UofLMBA.com.
There's a new TV show here in Louisville you need to check out. It's Hey Kentucky. But you know the NCAA, they're going to make something. It's going to be like an Abraham Isaac sacrifice.
Hey Kentucky, we are here in Nashville at the George Jones Museum with the possum and some people behind us, and we're going to talk about the UK game.
Here's what we do. We talk about all the news of the state. That includes Kentucky basketball, but also politics, entertainment. Whatever's going on, we give it to you. 10 o'clock every night, WBNA, Channel 21.
Score big at Commonwealth Dodge Ram. A new 17 Journey, just $16,970, or buy for $215 a month. A 2017 Durango SXT, only $29,995, or lease for $289 a month. Commonwealth Dodge Ram, right on Preston and always right on the price.
We hope you went out and found some pizza and wings or popcorn or whatever it takes to enjoy this match wherever you are. Welcome back to Vaughn. Lee Godfrey, Mike Watts. Let's take a look at what's coming up this weekend around the United Soccer League. Charlotte and Cincinnati. Cincinnati's not even assured a seat at the dance yet, while Charlotte is still chasing that number 2 and, for the moment, the number 1 seed. Rowdies and Bethlehem will play again. Tulsa, San Antonio. Then Reno and Real Monarchs could be for first place in the West.
Yeah, some really important games down the stretch, and to really solidify those playoff positions and seedings as far as where teams want to be. Do you want to have those games at home? Do you want to just sneak into the playoffs, be happy to get there and have games on the road and see if you can play that role of spoiler right now? But certainly it is a big weekend ahead in the United Soccer League.
Meanwhile, game still very much in action here. Hello to E Strut 17. Just watching from the state of Florida. Thanks for being a part of the telecast here tonight. With at Levon Godfrey, at Mike Watts on air. We're glad you're spending your evening with us. Sean Undahl in that first half. We're still waiting for him to make that impact. That one turn could have led to a goal, and then we'd be talking about all the impact he had.
Yeah, we would. You know, there was a couple of chances like we saw earlier. Hundahl with one and Johnson with another one, the two main guys up top for Toronto FC too. And that's where there's got to be maybe a little bit more communication at the back for Louisville. I think there was unfortunate bounces for sure. So, you know, I think, though, overall, the cream does come to the top, and you'll see Louisville City put this one in a different gear. I do think, you know, sure, you'd love to be able to know that you've won the East, you're in first place, and that's the way it's going to go on the, you know, on the road. You would love to do it in front of your home fans. The fans like to see it happen back in Louisville, but I think James O'Connor would like to say, let's just wrap this up, take care of business right now.
That's right. They would need to wait 2 more games, and, well, if Tampa Bay drops a point against Bethlehem at home, it would essentially take the chance to clinch out of their hands. So Louisville would like to do it all tonight. We're at Ontario Soccer Center in Vaughan, and Paulo Del Piccolo picking up where Louisville left off, taking the ball away. Comes to Oscar Jimenez. These Louisville City jerseys got a bunch of pub on NBCSN this week. Roger Bennett and, well, his suboptimal podcast as it might be, putting out some video of him wearing these GE Appliance new Louisville City FC jerseys, which leads to the question, where's mine? This portion of tonight's broadcast presented by Republic Bank, the official bank of Louisville City FC. It's good to see the purple jersey there on Men in Blazers. Earlier this year, they had FC Cincinnati jerseys on there, so it was only right that they repaid the favor.
Well, once again, Louisville City coming out right where they left off at the end of the first half, really winning that possession battle. And again, we've already seen Toronto FC step up at the top of that 18-yard box to disrupt a play by Louisville.
Well, a bit dangerous here, but Frazier did get it back to Cavalluzzo. Daniels met by Speedy Williams. Williams, Smith, Ownby. Slowing it up, playing Smith, allowing it through. It'll be Del Piccolo. Tried to one-time it from 20-plus yards out. Did not test Cavalluzzo.
Yeah, Brian Ownby now back to the right-hand side to start this second half, and you saw him push that one back to the top of the box, and Speedy Williams let it go right here. Or sorry, pardon me, it's not Speedy Williams. Well, he did as well. It goes by both of them in Kyle Smith, then Speedy Williams, and in the end, Del Piccolo lets that one go, but he gets underneath it. And another missed opportunity for Louisville to take the lead.
Kyle Smith waving the ball over his head. No changes for Louisville City or Toronto FC II at the half. Reynolds, flag is up for offside, but Cavalluzzo would have been there anyways. Niall McCabe, now Lancaster giving chase. Cavalluzzo didn't put a lot under that. And bounces down, Lancaster collecting at the byline, sought out McCabe. Little haphazard right now from TFC II.
Yeah, sloppy play. That's what you'll get at times from this younger side out there, and that's something that Louisville City will want to take advantage of.
It's Ownby. Ownby circumnavigating the defense on his own and drew the foul right at the edge of the area.
A look here is another turnover by Toronto FC 2, and Brian Ownby just taking matters into his own hands. And he kind of got his foot caught up there in the field turf, and you see him favoring his knee. That's the last thing that Louisville City would want, is to have a player of his caliber injured in a game here tonight down the stretch. He's doing his best to walk this one off, and a free kick for Louisville in a dangerous, dangerous spot. Is it enough, though, Mike, to get it up and over the wall? Would you like to be 4 or 5 yards more back to give yourself that space to get it over and down? As Lancaster's over the ball.
It will be Cameron Lancaster. He got it through. Cavalluzzo made the save. We hadn't seen him do much yet tonight, but that was vintage Cavalluzzo.
Perfectly placed free kick from Lancaster. Unlucky. I'm just surprised that Cavalluzzo saw it. Was able to pick that ball up at the last second, coming over top of the wall.
And that's the toughest place to make a stop, going down to that corner. It was well hit by Lancaster, who's missed the last handful due to a broken toe. Typically, we've seen Jimenez take that effort for Louisville City of late, and this time got to see Lancaster has scored directly off a free kick already this year. Tosh, Lancaster. Lancaster again. Well, he's finding the game more now in the 51st minute, in the first 6 minutes, than he did in the first half.
Let's have another look at this one. And you know what? He may have got a hand on it, but that also hit the post, I think, as well. That close to being 1-0.
Well, you asked, would they rather have it from 4 or 5 yards further back? They're going to have that opportunity. A yellow card is shown. It's Frazier for Toronto.
This time it's a little bit more over to the other side, more to the right So will this change whether or not Louisville wants someone to take this with the left foot instead, as we saw Lancaster with a beautifully placed ball with the right foot in the previous free kick.
Should be noted, Frazier was on yellow card accumulation warning, so he is currently slated to miss the next match. It'll be Cameron Lancaster again, and Lancaster put it on target, but it's held by Cavalluzzo. Lancaster's a real weapon, and it's not to take anything away from Oscar Jimenez, who is a good set-piece taker in his own right, but he does a very good job of steering those on net. Frazier trying to get in on Omby. Hey fans, stay up to date on all the latest USL news and information from around the league by tuning into USL Coast to Coast, SiriusXM FC Channel 85, Mondays 7 p.m. Eastern. Also the home of the USL Game of the Week. Check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. This is out over the byline, and Louisville City off to take a corner, and now we'll see Jimenez in that set-piece taking role. You can see the wind has died down a little bit, the way the flag isn't pulling quite as hard.
Jimenez with the left foot in swinger.
Jimenez, Del Piccolo headed it back across. Williams doesn't go for the one-time effort. It's launched out of play. Craig tried a second time. Serbol went down. Sprang to the right. Tosh. Smith and Omby on the interchange. Sorio had to play the ball. Toronto coming off a 2-1 loss where they scored first at Harrisburg. Shane Hundahl. So Sean Hundahl scoring in the 14th there, and then Ropapa Mensah scoring twice to overcome it. Think about the season for Toronto. They started with a win against Phoenix, had Omar Bravo and Sean Wright Phillips, and you thought, wow, maybe there's something to be had here, and then they went winless over their next 12. 7 losses, 5 draws. They've sort of pulled out of it toward the end of the season, which makes them dangerous to any playoff-bound team. Still young and making some youngish mistakes. Serbol is fouled.
Yeah, it was Ryan Telfer, who basically came on and won a position on Toronto FC 2 as a walk-on, and that was his first appearance, signed his first pro contract, and scores in his first game in that victory. What a story that is.
And then hasn't scored again since.
That's true.
Out of York. Telfer, 23 out of Toronto's available off the bench tonight. So too Sergio Camargo and Rocco Romeo, who both started as well last time out for Toronto, part of 4 changes to the TFC II lineup. Jordan McCrary, got MLS experience of his own, former first-round pick. Continuing on still, Serbol. Slid away in time. Corner on the way for TFC II. It was Paco Craig there defensively.
Good tackle there by Paco Craig, but a very good build-up there by Toronto FC 2. Nice ball in there to Serbol, and he tries to do it all on his own, and he almost got there if it wasn't for that last-ditch effort by Paco Craig.
57th minute. Daniels, top of the area, chested down. Serbol, no foul. Serbal's been a real menace. A lot of the big plays made tonight by Toronto have started with him, including the turn by Hundal that nearly resulted in a goal. Trying to lift through again. Hundal chasing after Ranjit Singh. Lancaster was fouled. Parallel to the top of the box, hopped through from Smith. Heads it back across. Jimenez, not a great first touch.
Oh, I think he was debating. He was in the middle of that one. He did not know if he just wanted to volley that one right out of the air.
Count me as an interested party to see how that would have turned out. It's Smith. Can he get there? He did. Lancaster keeping it still. Looking for a whistle that again will not come. The referee has been rather understated tonight. Can Toronto counter effectively? Daniels playing done.
You can hear Jason Bent there telling his team to get that ball up the pitch faster. Move it, move it, move it.
Ownby keeping it past Frazier. Cutting inside Lancaster, it's Jimenez. Now Williams. Penultimate player to score for Louisville this year. Only Tarek Morad hasn't among the field players, 17 in total. Pushed off by Tosh. Tosh sends the service, headed down by Ownby, he scores! Flag is up for offside, it won't count in the 59th minute. It looked like a Kentucky lottery goal, and it sounded like one, but it isn't.
Love to have another look at that one because I'm not sure about this one. Let's take a look. Nice ball forward into the box, and I don't think so. I think Brian Ownby came in it behind that last defender of Toronto FC II, Julian Dunn. Yeah, I don't see that offside at all. I think he's come in from behind and started well behind.
Mark Anthony Kay is coming in for Louisville City. A substitution that's brought to you by Great Clips. It's gonna be great. Now McCabe is on his way off, and Anthony Kay playing it back.
You can hear the round of applause, so you know he's got some family in the crowd. Might be the only time tonight, unless he scores, that you're gonna hear cheers for the away team.
Kay sprinting through. Ownby went left. Lancaster playing it on the ground. Kay was the target. Del Piccolo looked to poke it through.
Louisville really has the pressure on now. You see Toronto FC II backing up and backing up. This is where they need to take advantage.
Kay, square ball, Ownby. To slip in again. This portion of tonight's telecast is presented by Plainview Apartments, the official housing partner of Louisville City. Mark Anthony Kay, in the end, cedes possession to Toronto, who themselves will make a couple changes. It's the aforementioned Ryan Telfer who will come on, scoring in his debut against Phoenix all the way back in March. And De Silva enter as well. Malik Johnson on his way off. These substitutions being brought to you by Great Clips. It's gonna be great. Anthony Osorio also on the way out.
Ryan Telfer out of York University.
Would you like to say who it's presented by?
Great Clips. It's going to be great.
Thank you, Lee. At times, it feels rather monotonous from the same voice. Well, a foul committed by Del Piccolo. And Daniel De Silva trotting away. Cavaluzzo, one big save, a touch to knock a free kick off the post. Brian Omby has had a goal disallowed offside. TFC II hanging in there at home. Set to play their last 3 games at Ontario Soccer Center. Daniels given a tap from behind by Kay. It's McCrary. Hundal was fouled. Sean Reynolds, and a free kick in an equally dangerous position to Louisville City's earlier in the half for TFC II. Jordan McCrary is being read the riot act right now.
He wanted to take that quick, and that's the problem there, and now the referee has stopped the play, so there's a reset, and he'll march off the 10 yards for Louisville City.
Jordan McCrary, such a good, still very young player out of North Carolina.
Aiden Daniels standing over the ball here.
It will be Aiden Daniels. Hasn't scored yet this year, but Daniels this time came oh so close to his second USL goal.
Oh, I didn't know if he was going to try to just loft this one in to players coming into the back post, but he just gets underneath that one well too much, and it goes over the crossbar at that far post.
Change on the way. So it appears. Luke Spencer has come on for Cameron Lancaster. Sean Toach heading that away. Spencer leading the way in goals. He comes on, and a substitution that's presented by Great Clips. It's going to be great. Spencer chasing still. Spencer still came on until Cavaluzzo got it away.
Now this one taken quickly by Jimenez.
Kay, good interchange. Kay! Trying to look for a goal in his native land. Julian Dunn, the touch necessary to keep Kay from that objective.
Good run there from Mark Anthony Kay, and once again, it's just that last touch. They can't get it through. Again, blocked by Toronto FC 2 defenders.
Jimenez. That's through. It was touched, though. Tainter was the player who got up for TFC II. Another corner for Louisville. This time it'll be Paulo Del Piccolo, who's out of the University of Louisville. Del Piccolo, in-swinger, Cavaluzzo got a punch. Ownby heads it back into the mixer. Spencer, pull this in. Tainter working with Spencer. Kay. Williams. Next touch simply not there. Jimenez couldn't take it from Serbal.
Almost like it's just trying that little bit too hard. One touch too many, and they just can't get the ball to sit right at their feet.
Ownby. Ownby did get the service in. It was a bit behind Spencer. He had the right idea. Eckenrode and Frazier were both in the vicinity. Hey, soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the United Soccer League. More information available at nikesoccer.com. Daniel De Silva, haven't heard much from him yet. Daniels couldn't thread it through. De Silva reached out at Reynolds. How long will Reynolds go unimpeded? Ownby. Ownby will give it a go. The save by Cavalluzzo. Cavalluzzo again having another performance to remember against Louisville.
This would definitely be up for save of the week here, as Ownby just had that telegraphed, as you could see that bending towards that top corner, and Cavalluzzo comes diving across and palms that over the crossbar.
Got over everybody and out. Up for goal, save of the week?
I think so, up for save of the week.
I think you could probably put this one in.
Yeah, the way that Ownby hit that just with the outside of his foot, so it was always curling away from Cavalluzzo, and that is just a fantastic save.
How good has he been when called upon tonight? Kay goes to work. Big part of Tavio Zambrano's turnaround plan for Canada, so it appears at the present moment. Kay, a regular call-up this year, which has kept him a bit out of the starting lineup at times. Played in a couple positions, the wing-back spot, a little more centrally in the forward position as well. Kay has those unteachable elements, the pace, the size, the strength that you look for in a guy who's going to continue to climb up the ladder 7 there in purple.
Yeah, absolutely. Big bright spot in a lot of these young and up-and-coming Canadian players. And proving that the USL is a quality league, and that players from all different parts of the world come to play in this league, and there's still, it's at a high enough caliber to allow you to still remain in the selection process for your national teams.
Big push against De Silva. Through ball by Jimenez, taken away by Tainter.
Spencer wanted that one. You could see him slap his thighs there, as that was just so close getting through, and he would have been all alone.
Spencer goes chasing again. Jimenez committed that foul. And that look back by Jordan McCrary was worth 1,000 words.
Yeah, he's not too happy. Toronto FC has not had too many opportunities, and it has been on the counterattack, and McCrary not happy that he was impeded there and unable to continue his run. As once again, Aiden Daniels comes over to take this one. More than likely try to send it to that back post and try to get somebody running in to this top of the 6.
Daniels, it is steered on that run. Jetsing somehow pawed that away. De Silva, it looked like a sure goal.
Fantastic ball in from Aiden Daniels. Have a look at this. He gets it out in front of everyone. And there you see number 67, Daniel De Silva, up and get that one. And Greg Ranjetsing was up to the task as he makes a fantastic save.
That up for save of the week?
It might be.
It
should be.
Aiden Daniels again. Another good chance to head it right at Ranjetsing. That was Telfer, who was looking for his second goal of the year. Perhaps if you're Louisville, jinxed it. If you're Toronto, giving him the impetus by mentioning he hadn't scored since the opener.
He's got a lot of experience in college. Remember the York University Lions.
Through ball, Hundal scores! Sean Hundal got it beneath Greg Ranjetsing, and Toronto FC II leads Louisville. Will number 15 slay number 1, Hundal, in the 73rd?
Well, that's how they've had their success. We saw it a couple times in the first half, Mike, on the counterattack. And you see here McCreary with just a beautiful ball around Paco Craig, and Hundal is there to meet it, and he slots it past the Ranjetsing, who came screaming off his line to try to close that play down. He's unable to. And Louisville City has kept that door open just a crack this entire game, and Toronto FC II take full advantage.
Goal number 4 of the year for Hundal. He scored 6 times last year, and Greg Ranjetsing trying to get his team back into it. Still now with 16 minutes to play. For Hundal, you think back to the first meeting between these teams, and it was a 0-0 draw. Hundal had 12 touches in the entire match. Well, that was the biggest touch he's ever had against Louisville. It's 1-0. Spencer. Kale, keep it still for Louisville City. Spencer ripping. And Cavalluzzo, who's coupled of big saves tonight, seem even bigger in the current context, dove down on it.
Here's another look at that ball around by McCrary. And a beautiful finish by Sean Hundal to give TFC II that 1-0 lead.
Craig and Jetsing. Well, if you're Louisville, that may take a bit of wind out of your sails, because you were cruising through one half possession-wise. Started to get a couple better looks in the second half, and against the run of play, Toronto snaps one up. 15 minutes to go. This portion of tonight's telecast is presented by official partner of Louisville City, Sullivan University. Comes back to Richard Ballard, who subbed on for Louisville City at the goal. Smith, Kay. Let him a bit too far on the first touch. Del Piccolo slid in hard from behind. It was De Silva. That could easily be something more than just a simple foul. Mitchell Tainter being accosted by his coach to set it all up. Well, will it be Jimenez this time from a longer distance? With Lancaster out. Jimenez off the wall, scissored towards the net, off of Spencer.
Well, Cavalluzzo taking his time here on the home side. Less than 15 minutes away in stoppage time from a, you don't normally call home victories an upset, but this certainly would be an upset tonight.
It was Brian Omby who came off for Richard Ballard. Slipping through. Service well won by Louisville, but only as far as a third of the way up the field. Julian Dunn was there. Ballard. Hang it up the left. Another change on the way. Coney will come on. That's enough for Lars Eckenrode.
In the 79th minute, coming into the match, number 77, Brendan Coney. And subbing into the match, number 35, Lars Eckenrode.
Coney, all of 19 years of age. It's a substitution brought to you by Great Clips. It's going to be great. So Coach Bent working his way down the bench. That's his third and final available sub.
Good performance tonight by Eckenrode. I thought he did fantastic. Not being afraid to go up into challenges and to get down low too and slide tackle. He had one good one on Kyle Smith to really get a good goal scoring opportunity taken away from them.
Jimenez fouled Serbal. Toronto has never beaten Louisville City. Some space here for Ballard, the rookie out of the University of Indiana. Del Piccolo, slip ball through, Cavalluzzo is there. Seemed to take a bit of a knock as well.
Well, he bobbled the ball there, and Mark Anthony Kay was right over top of him trying to knock that loose so he could put it past. Here you see the through ball, and right there, it's that right shin and knee of Mark Anthony Kay that hits Cavalluzzo in the side of the head as he was trying to get control of the ball. And he remains down on the pitch.
Well, Cavalluzzo has been fantastic again this evening. They are in a situation where they're out of substitutes, it should be noted.
See him coming off his line there, and he had to, and there you see the collision. No intent there at all by Mark Anthony Kay because he sees a loose ball, and he's strictly going after the loose ball. And you can see them working just over top of that left eye of Angelo Cavalluzzo.
Gianluca Catalano, a 17-year-old TFC Academy player, all of 17, is available behind him. Mark Pace is not. And they're still working on Cavalluzzo right now. And anytime it's an injury to the head, you have to be a little bit concerned. As Jason Bent looks on, third-year head coach of this side who previously was a TFC assistant and worked with the U19s, a 32-time capped player for Canada, largely playing Colorado in MLS, but playing in the Football League overseas with Plymouth Argyle and in Germany. Mitchell Tainter in this defense, so much better at home this year. Such a large set of steps forward. TFC II at home. Cavalluzzo will continue on. We'll see just how well he's able to finish this out. Spencer. Sneak that through for Ballard. Daniels reversing. Daniels on a give and go. Serbol. Louisville got there first. Del Piccolo.
Back and forth now. This is really starting to open up.
Taken by Jimenez. Ballard now is off to the races. Off into the corner. Ballard approaching the area, sending it low. Cavalluzzo's there. Didn't give that nearly enough space for Spencer. The USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues on the planet. It features some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com or by following along on Twitter at USL. Wendell trying to provide problem up top. Wrong-footed K. De Silva. Cavalluzzo gave that a good whack. Reds pushing ahead. It's a good run forward for Telfer. Goal kick to Louisville City. Telfer cannot believe it.
Another look here to see if he is right as he lets this go, and I'm not too sure that took. It was close to having a few feet in there, and he believes it is a corner kick, but things are starting to open up a little bit for Toronto FC, even more on the counterattack as Louisville's trying to send a few more bodies forward to get a late equalizer.
Spencer didn't hold that up enough. Louisville right now is level on games with Real Monarchs, 2 points back for the larger USL regular season trophy chase. A win tonight would put them in first, with Real Monarchs playing that game in hand this evening at Sacramento. No easy feat. Monarchs on a 4-match winless streak, opening up the door, both Reno and Louisville, to try and take regular season trophy. Paco Craig slid in hard. Serbol is down.
And I don't think that's a foul. I think that was after the fact. I think Paco Craig has won that ball, and the contact is well after this has been cleared away. Watch right here is Paco Craig. He's slides in, gets the ball. Yeah, that's a fine tackle there. Yeah, and certainly it was a hard landing, but I don't think that is a foul.
Paco Craig shown a yellow card.
Yeah, he's gone into it. He's won the ball. He was there first. It was not late.
Craig was on yellow card accumulation warning, and so one would think we will see Tarek Morad in the starting lineup alongside Tosh and Reynolds for their game at Rochester on Saturday, September 30th on WMYO in Louisville. For those final two home games, Charlotte and Richmond. Charlotte on Saturday, October 7th on WBNA at Slugger Field. That could be a primer for what we could see USL Cup Eastern Conference Final.
Well, Sir Bill is up now, limping a little bit. I'm not saying there wasn't contact, but I just think it was after the fact. And Paco Craig went in, won that ball cleanly, and then Serbil made contact with Craig. He was the one, I think, that was late coming into that challenge.
Aiden Daniels to take the set piece. There's going to be a lot of stoppage time. Here's Ballard. Daniels has caught up. James O'Connor feels like there should be leveling out in the foul count. It is a throw to Louisville. Now a coy glance and a point back at the fourth official. It is rather a throw for Toronto as planned. Spencer. They're looking for a handball, played across Torquay. That'll slice to the corner flag, a throw Louisville. 2 minutes plus stoppage to go.
Boy, and Brandon Onconi just getting a piece of that one, looking behind him, or that would have been a tap in for Louisville City.
Williams, Tosh attacking. Sent up further by Telfer. There's Reynolds, backstopping for Louisville defensively. Okay, outrun for the ball. Serbil wrapped up. Craig will come back.
That's a second yellow card for Paco Craig, and he's done.
Del Piccolo not happy about it. Craig will come off. He'll jog off to try and get Louisville an opportunity late. It doesn't really change very much offensively for what they're trying to do. Here's the second yellow.
Yeah, he sets the pickup this time. I'm not sure that's a yellow at all. And Toronto FC felt hard done by that. The referee didn't play advantage, and they were up and away. The first yellow I don't think was one, and the second one I think may have been a free kick at best. But when you've already got one in the book, you're not going to get any leniency from an official. And so he shows the second yellow card.
Ballard continuing on, bounces down, Mark Anthony Kay. Kay plays it through, Spencer at the byline. Tried to go backward. Now Kay serving. Six minutes of stoppage time. Couple of injuries and that late red card. Not that that took a lot of time off. Louisville come back, earn a point, down a man at Toronto. This is game 4 of 5 in 15 days for Louisville. Toronto coming off a bit of a break. In truth, Louisville has not done enough to test Cavalluzzo on the run of play tonight. And their chance to, well, this is sent toward Cavalluzzo and over the top by Del Piccolo. Their chance for the #1 overall seed in the Eastern Conference may well be handed to them Saturday before they get a chance to play next. They still have 3 games to find all at 2 points or have the Rowdies drop a couple.
Yeah, hard done by too, I think, on the Ownby goal, which was called offside, which I just, from the angles that we had, I didn't think that that was offside. I felt that that was a good goal, so one taken off the board for Louisville tonight.
Never really knows how the game plays out. savvy defensive play out of pressure. Reynolds. Undahl, goal scorer, giving chase. Ranjitsingh will offset out with 4 minutes to go. Number 4, Tosh went up for the header. For Toronto, they're looking for just win number 6 this year. Louisville has won 7 games on the road. Finally play going the other way. They've been locked up in the corner. Step in by Frazier. TFC II side that was really getting a hold of it all before Gold Cup lost some 7 players, the Toronto organization, to the Canadian national team. Ball served in over Spencer Cavalluzzo. Have to make sure it didn't squirt inside.
Aiden Daniels still down. I think he pulled up there. He pulled something. He's in quite a bit of pain on that last turnover. I thought he was just looking for a foul at first because I knew there wasn't contact, but it looks like he got stuck in the field turf. And you see a lot of off-the-ball injuries. Ground gives a heck of a lot more than field turf does. And Jason Bent thinking that there may have been a tackle from behind there and doesn't know why. Play went on for so long when Aiden Daniels was down for so long. Here it is right here. So he's getting pulled in the back, and that's what I thought he wanted the foul for, but that's not the pull. You can see him right away reaching for what appears to be his hamstring.
His mom from the Philippines, dad from South Africa, played in the U20s for Canada, 19 years of age, in the 2017 CONCACAF Championships. We don't want to speculate, but they are looking at that right leg. So we're 4 minutes into stoppage time. He was injured about a minute ago, so at least 3 more minutes, one would think, from this point. Louisville's playing with 10, and Toronto is out of substitutes. And Daniels is coming off a bit slowly. We'll see whether or not he comes back on or if we finish this 10v10. He's standing at the halfway line like he will continue. So a minute and a half there rolled off the clock in total during the injury. Daniels wants in. Williams steers. Tosh. Jimenez. Ballard. Smith for Louisville, trying to find a late point away. Foul committed. Telfer staring incredulously in at the referee and his assistant. Free kick in a position that'll look a lot like a corner.
That's a push in the back, and you don't want to be giving up fouls there. He's probably more upset at himself than anything else.
Del Piccolo, Spencer. Well, it'll, in all likelihood, just be a frustrating night, not only for Spencer, but this Louisville offense.
And Tripp, to be honest with you, to have 2 games here against 2 teams that are not really in the playoff picture, to only pick up 1 point in this 2-game road swing north of the border.
We've talked about it a lot this year, but the importance of home field advantage only magnified when you have a strugglesome road swing. For Toronto, they're nearing their first ever win against Louisville. There's an additional ball in play. It's kicked out, and De Silva went and got the ball that was required to stay in. Daniel Da Silva, that's an unenviable job. Throw Toronto. A couple injuries in stoppage time, so there's still a bit of time to go.
I don't think I've ever seen that before, where there's two balls and the player that actually is going after the live ball kicks the ball out and keeps his run going to get the live ball.
Smith throwing his arms out. Foul conceded, so Louisville try and get a point late. This will likely be their last good look upfield. Spencer headed it wide. Telfer under the pressure of Smith. Not enough to find Del Piccolo. Da Silva. Daniel Da Silva. Wouldn't find the goal there.
Da Silva needed to put his head up there because there were two Toronto FC players making the run. He had his head down. All he had to do was push it to his left, and it would have been a wide open shot.
Toronto will stave off, finishing in last for at least a moment longer. Daniels goes down and grabs his left ankle. He's clearly in pain. He finished that out the hard way. It's like maybe his hamstring. 1-0 to Toronto on the home pitch over Louisville, who will not officially clinch #1 overall.
Nope, they will not now, and they'll regroup and try to get back to their winning ways. But it was a tough road trip for the men in purple.
Highlights when we return. Toronto FC 2 knocks off Louisville City in a shocker at Ontario Soccer Center, 1-0.
Box combo, please.
At Raising Cane's, we do one thing, and we do it better than anyone else. So why not let our food do the talking?
Love in the window.
Raising Cane's, only the best chicken finger meals. One love.
Pizza, beer, sports. A great combination. Join other sports fans at Boomba's Pizza and Tap House in Louisville, where you'll find what Food Network says is the best pizza in Kentucky. Incredible game day and social hour specials starting at just $2. With an award-winning menu and one of city's best local craft beer list. Just one bite, and we know you'll love it so much, you'll come back time and time again at Boomba's Pizza and Tap House, your social sports destination.
When my hair is too long, I don't feel right. But when I get a cut, I'm me again, only better. My tattoo gets feistier. My crazy eye snaps to attention. I become my own Wi-Fi hotspot.
I just downloaded the entire internet.
And trust falls? They don't even scare me anymore.
That pomade really broke my fall.
Get in, get out, back to greatness. Download the online check-in app. Great clips. It's gonna be great.
Full time tonight in Ontario, and it's Toronto FC 2 pulling off the absolute shocker. Louisville falls tonight. They will not fall down in the standings, but they still have a magic number of 2 over Tampa Bay in order to reach the #1 seed in the East officially. Back with Lee Godfrey, Mike Watts. Here are your full-time highlights here on WBNA. And we saw Louisville get a lot of possession in the first half and a couple good looks too.
Yeah, they did, and there's Kyle Smith going in, but it's Eckenrode with a fantastic, beautifully timed tackle there, or else that would have been a penalty kick, but he's done a great job there to take away scoring opportunity from Louisville. And Toronto FC, too, you know, had some good opportunities. Paco Craig there giving the ball away, intercepted, and luckily for Louisville City that this is not taken advantage of there, as it is Johnson with the left footer, puts it wide to the net. More opportunities here from Louisville City. Up top for Brian Omby, and that is just a fantastic save from Cavalluzzo. And he hits it with the outside of the foot. It's always bending away from Cavalluzzo, and he's able to palm that one over the bar. Again, see that just going away, and he jumps up, and he is spread out full. And what a great save. That could be Save of the Week honor, and so could this one here. De Silva gets up, and Greg Ranjetsing, just a beautiful diving save as well to his right to get a palm on it. Another look as De Silva finds a little bit of space, and Ranjetsing gets his fingertips on it to stop a goal. And then here is the goal. McCrary, look at this pass around the outside to Hundal, and he's able to slot that one past Ranjetsing, who is coming out of his goal to try to close that gap and close the space. But a nice finish there from Hundal to give Toronto FC 2 that 1-0 lead.
His fourth goal of the year came in the 73rd minute, and Sean Hundal, our player to watch in the game, comes through for TFC 2. Louisville trying to find a late equalizer, and Richard Ballard coming on and helping to create. Louisville would struggle to find that finishing touch.
Yeah, they were. It was all around the top of the box as Mark-Anthony Kaye goes in. There's a loose ball there as Cavalluzzo's not able to handle it very well, and then he takes the knock as well on the side of the head. He's able to continue in this one, but it was a tough night out for Louisville City tonight, as they just seemed that they weren't able to get that one pass through. They had a couple of chances on set pieces tonight, and Omby's goal called back on an offside, which I thought was a good goal, and in the end, Paco Craig gets his second yellow card for that, and then he's shown the red, and so they finish with 10 men tonight and aren't able to get on the score sheet.
So that was in the 89th minute. Louisville would fall 1-0. Here are the Eastern Conference standings. We mentioned that Tampa Bay and Bethlehem drew earlier, so Louisville only needs either a loss or draw from Tampa Bay in their next game, or a win of their own against Rochester in order to wrap up the #1 seed in the East.
Yeah, so it's all coming down to these final matches of the season, and really to decide where you are going to be in the playoffs. The Tampa Bay Rowdies sitting in that 4th spot right now, so you see those top 4 all getting to host a playoff game to start the run for the USL Championship.
Rochester #5, they're the next opponent for Louisville City. Let's take a look at the MagnaWave save of the match. MagnaWave is the leader in pulsed electromagnetic field therapy.
And it was a beauty by Greg Ranjetsing off of the free kick by Aiden Daniels. It is Daniel De Silva that gets up, but Ranjetsing is up to the task, diving out and getting his fingers on it to keep that one from going in the back of the net.
So that your MagnaWave save of the match. And don't wait until Louisville comes back to Slugger Field in October on the 7th to see the team. Watch them on WMYO. 6:05 start, an hour early, September 30th, as they take on 5th place Rochester Rhinos. So Louisville City falls on the road tonight in Toronto. They had their chances. They could have clinched the #1 seed in the East, but it wasn't meant to be. For Lee Godfrey, Gage Tillotson, Dean Nevins, our entire team, Mike Watts saying so long. Ranjetsing, several big saves, but it wasn't nearly enough. Sean Hundal's 4th of the year, and the 73rd is the difference. Toronto shocks Louisville and finishes 1-0. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.